For our usability testing deliverable, we had 3 participants test the usability of a product by completing 3 different tasks. The product we chose for a usability test was the Sony Dream Machine alarm clock. Some basic features of the alarm clock include setting the time, alarm, and snooze time, as well as an additional radio feature. The tests were completed in one of Elm's study rooms, ensuring the room had good lighting and was in an enclosed space. Our group wanted to make sure that the tests were done in a controlled environment. Our users were UW freshmen living in Elm Hall. It was interesting to see how the younger demographic would use the Dream Machine, given that most alarm clocks like that of the Dream Machine were used by people over the age of 20. Making sure that these alarm clocks are useful for people with tight schedules like that of college students is important. Finding people in our target demographic was very easy.
We chose 3 tasks that test the most fundamental features of the Dream Machine alarm clock. Our first task required the user to set the clock to 6 a.m. In the second task, users set the alarm to 7 a.m., and our final test asked users to play radio station FM 93.3. These tasks were selected to assess how well the alarm clock performs basic functions, the features users would interact with most often. We decided on 3 metrics that would provide a comprehensive analysis of the Dream Machine's usability. Our first metric was a quantitative measure of how long each task took. We used a digital stopwatch to measure the time it took in seconds for users to approach and complete a task. Our second metric asked users, on a scale of 1 to 5, how intuitive was it to complete the task. We created this metric to measure how well the product is designed. Because this question utilized a numerical scale, the test was also quantitative. We originally planned to ask users for qualitative responses, however, we switched to a quantitative metric to make it easier for participants to respond. The last metric asked users about any issues they faced while completing each task. We included this qualitative metric to help us understand how the design could be improved or clarified. As indicated in our results for Task 1, users experienced a range of difficulty when attempting to complete the first test. Times ranged from about 40 to 400 seconds, and difficulty ratings ranged from 2 out of 5 to 5 out of 5. Most issues that users experienced arose from the unintuitive design of the time set button that had to be held down. Task 2 was very similar to Task 1. All of our participants found the task very easy, rating the difficulty of the task a 1 out of 5. Participants were also able to cut at least 30 seconds off their times from Task 1. Most participants set the alarm during the first task, so setting the alarm to 7 a.m. proved to be an easy task. The time it took for participants to complete Task 3 varied between roughly 10 and 50 seconds, and 1 through 3 out of 5 in terms of difficulty, which might be attributed to the fact that participants 1 and 2 did not inspect the alarm clock until the beginning of the task. Having to push a button in order to set the time seems to have been an issue for the participants. We would recommend removing the button and allowing users to use a switch to set the time instead. We would also recommend that the tuner for the radio be labeled more clearly. The text could be made more visible by increasing the font and color to contrast the background more. If we were to do this test again, we would focus on delivering questions with more precision and clarity. Other improvements we could make are testing more demographics and controlling our environment more carefully.